Hey you all, Dewmonic Abyss, coming to you live from inside my apartment, away from other people who might potentially have the coronavirus, so I don't end up catching this virus and end up unknowingly passing it on to other people who could potentially die from it. You know, like most reasonable people during this pandemic. I'd like to stress reasonable people, because it seems like there are unreasonable people out there, such as a travel blog by the name Jacob the Carpetbagger, because today I woke up and saw that the Carpetbagger had uploaded a video going to Pigeon Forge just as it reopens, which, I'm not even surprised.
Hey you all, Carpetbagger here. I'm currently here in Pigeon Forge, Tennessee, as they are beginning to open tourist spots. I think this is one of the first places in the country that's really starting to open back up after this great unpleasantness that we have been experiencing.
Okay, let's put this into perspective, all right? We have this grown man ditching his wife and child in North Carolina in the middle of a pandemic so he can go to this amusement park all the way in Tennessee. Just imagine each night he's lying awake in a cold sweat, wondering when he can go to his next amusement park. Because that's really what channels like the Carpetbagger are. They are one-trick ponies that seemingly are incapable of doing anything else. You know, while most people are worrying about the safety of their own family and themselves, worrying about when they might be able to go back to work, worrying about providing for themselves and their family, we have people like Jacob that they're only worried about when they'll be able to go to their next roadside attraction / theme park and record some vlogs there, because your little YouTube vlog is more important than other people's health, which is kind of sad. I mean, he's done live streams, and in those live streams you can see the Carpetbagger looks all mopey as fuck, that he has to spend time at home with his family. You know, in this live stream in particular, he looks like a sad clown, alright? He looks like a sad clown. He's not even hiding the frown on his face. The moment Pigeon Forge reopened, he dropped everything, left his whole family behind during this pandemic, just so he can ride on the merry-go-round. Alright? You know, I'd love to go a few rounds on the merry-go-round, ride on the bench for a couple of minutes, but personally, I'm worried about my own health. I don't want to suffer permanent lung damage from this coronavirus. Maybe you might not care about your own health, but this is a highly contagious disease that is asymptomatic, so anyone can have it. And you can see in this video, no one there is wearing any protective face mask, which I can't entirely fault Jacob for that. It's more of a, what the fuck has society become type of thing. But also, you see Jacob recording a face mask in a plastic baggie. Instead of actually putting it on his face, he's carrying it around in a bag, like that's really going to do anything. I think from that little scene, he's trying to imply that he's wearing one because he knows people like me are going to call him out on his nonsense. But the reality of it is, like, if you listen to his audio, he doesn't sound like he's muffled at all. He doesn't sound like he's wearing a face mask. And when he's actually on the Ferris wheel and several other spots where he's actually recording himself, you can see he's not wearing the face mask. You listen to his audio when he's holding the face mask, and the audio throughout the entire video, there is no difference here. There is no muffling of his voice.
Now I do want to be clear, I am taking all necessary precautions, have my hand sanitizer. We have Wonderworks right here.
Granted, I could be wrong here. Maybe it's a very thin cloth. Maybe he's speaking perfectly fine and he can easily disprove of this, but this is my own observation watching this video. It just seems kind of manipulative that he's going to record the face mask but not actually show himself wearing it at all. And I don't have any problem with theme park vloggers, you know. It's not really my cup of tea. I'm not really into watching grown men ride on the merry-go-round. Some people are, you know. That's a point where you gotta agree to disagree, but it's just sad. That's all I want to say here. This is just sad. And I mean, 2020 is looking to be a very strange year. I know it's going to be harder on travel channels, but you gotta be able to adapt, alright? This is genuine advice here. You gotta be able to adapt to survive on this platform. I mean, look at PewDiePie, for example. He wouldn't be the biggest creator on YouTube. And I say biggest creator because there's a company that surpassed him, T-Series, but he wouldn't be the biggest creator on this platform if he was sticking to the same formula year after year. You gotta be able to adapt if you want this to be a viable career. And there's only so long you can do these roadside attractions and rely on that as the main driving force behind your channel. You gotta develop some personality. You do your live streams and you're just this sad clown eating almonds and whining that he has to stay inside. You're gonna lose your following. You're gonna lose any potential traction you could have on your channel. Yeah, you can just tell Jacob is not taking this virus seriously at all. He even refers to it as the unpleasantness.
This great unpleasantness.
Which goes to show that he's more worried about making money off this vlog than anything. And yeah, I get that this is your job, you gotta worry about stuff like that. But the unpleasantness, he just isn't taking this seriously whatsoever. Apparently, he also lives with an elderly father-in-law, from what I've heard. Aren't you in the least bit worried about coming home and potentially spreading this virus to your family? Aren't you in the least bit worried about that, Jacob? It's just mind-boggling, the mentality of some of these people. More worried about going to amusement parks than anything. But yeah, I just wanted to get my opinion out there because this is something I'm feeling rather strongly about. If there isn't really any problem with this, I'd like someone to explain this to me and refute my points. Going to an amusement park right when it opens in the middle of a pandemic? Desperation. That's the only word I can say for that. There's not even anything exciting going on in this video. Like, you're riding a Ferris wheel, you're riding a merry-go-round. Is that really worth traveling all the way to Tennessee for? You can't come up with anything interesting to do at home? I mean, I do all of my videos at home. I've traveled as well. I've gone to Germany, I've gone to Indiana, Ohio. I'd rather not think about the Ohio vlog, but I've been there. I've done some interesting things there. If you agree with what I have to say, well, I'd appreciate you leaving a comment, hitting that like button. My channel has become an all-out war with the likes and dislikes recently. I get bombarded with dislikes, but none of these dislikers will state their opinion or try to refute anything I say. So I don't really take that seriously. In fact, it drives me that I'm willing to speak my opinion no matter how much backlash I get. I'm badass like that, and you better fucking believe it. Point being, if you're an American hero, like Jacob the Carpetbagger.
Aaron Fector called me an American hero earlier today. I can only say one thing about that, and that's being a hero isn't easy. Being a hero isn't a job, it's a duty.
You would be staying at home, waiting for this thing to pass over, Worry about taking care of your family. First and foremost, YouTube isn't really something that needs to come first in this scenario. But hey, I mean, you've got your own priorities. If that's how you want to live your life, do it. See how that turns out. I'm just giving my opinion here. Peace out. Like and subscribe. This one's in the bag.
Jacob, I know Pigeon Forge just opened, and I've been stuck in the house for 3 weeks with a wife and child. You don't get it. We all get it. Hey, I see you got all your supplies. You have to actually wear the mask? What the fuck is that made of? Okay. And you have to use the hand sanitizer. I need to go ride a merry-go-round. I bet you just sit on a fucking bench, dude. Yeah, going up and down is way too strenuous now. I haven't been doing my wrestling training. Jacob. The mask won't help you if it's just in a bag. Dude, did you make that out of your daughter's panties?
Yeah, well, I mean, we can't sell them right now because of the fucking COVID. How am I supposed to be buying my diabetes almonds? Don't you know I got gout now?